Today on Ballistic BBQ, I'm going to be cooking up 3 Cornish game hens on El Patron. Let's get going. Quick thank you to Lone Star Grills for sponsoring this video. Before we start cooking, we're going to make a nice spice blend. Going to kick it off with some lemon pepper seasoning. This also has, some salt in there. From the Horn of Africa, we're going to add some Burberry. A lot of really good spices going on here. That was 3/4 of a cup of the lemon pepper. This is 1 tablespoon of the Burberry. It has different types of peppers, garlic, cardamom, cinnamon. It's so much stuff. Some garlic powder. That was 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. And 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. The Burberry and the lemon pepper, that has salt in there, but I'm just adding a little bit more. Shaken up, and there we are. Let's season those birds. And here are those Cornish game hens. Each one of these birds is around 24 ounces. A little heads up if you're hearing background noises. They're tearing up our neighborhood right now. For the past few days, they've been tearing up our neighborhood, upgrading the cable, the communication cables. But it's loud. I mean, we got jackhammers, ditch witches, big giant vacuum trucks. So I'm doing my best to try to mitigate the sound, but this is part of outdoor cooking. You have things in the environment around so you just have no control of. Anyway, I'm not going to do a formal truss. These are going to be rotisserie cooked, by the way. But what I am going to do is secure the legs, and I want to secure the wings so they're not flapping around while it's on the rotisserie. So it's just the easy route, what I'm doing here. If you throw in a couple passes there with that overhand knot, it won't slip. So like I said, I could usually do around 3 passes there, then pull it tight, and you see, you can let go of it, it won't slip. Then just a simple overhand knot. All right, here we are. Let's season them. First thing I'm going to do is just coat these with this is avocado oil. It's kind of a neutral flavor, but it has a high smoking point. Then for the seasoning, it's kind of weird. I grew up eating this stuff. My mom made Cornish game hens all the time. But you just don't really hear about it anymore. At least not here where I live in Southern California. But boy, I grew up eating this. And I realized that when I'm putting these on the spit, some of this rub's going to be rubbed off. So I'll just hit it with a little bit more seasoning after it's on, that spit. All right, that's looking pretty good. Now we'll get it on that spit. All right. See, these birds are pretty darn small, but the tines will hold them. You just need to at least get one in. Make sure you get it nice and compressed. All right, so hit it with a little seasoning where I lost it. I just like to season them first. And normally I would, let these sit a while longer, kind of marinating in that dry seasoning. But I'm a little time crunch right now. These look good. All right, let's get them on the pit. All right, so here's the setup today. I got lump charcoal burning down there. And I like, when I'm doing rotisserie, I like to have it all pushed off to one side rather than having the whole bed filled with the charcoal. Throw in a couple lumps of, or chunks of hickory. All right, put the spit in. Then we have the bushing to put on. There we are. So right now I have the lower vent about halfway open. Both upper stacks are open, but of course that's subject to change. And I'm going to be running this pit right around 300 degrees, in that range. I'm not really concerning myself with precise temperatures here, but again, I want it somewhere between 275 and 310. I'll be happy with that. We're just going to let it go. What I'm going to do now, and I'm going to do this off camera, you don't need to see this, I'm just going to mix up a baste, and what I'm going to do is melt some butter along with some fresh garlic in there and a little bit of rosemary. All right, we are about 30 minutes in. Looking good. So now I'm going to take that baste that I told you about, the butter, garlic, little rosemary baste. It's one of the reasons why I like to have the fire pushed back off to the side. I can baste, and I don't have to worry about giant flare-ups coming up actually to whatever I'm cooking. See, it's flaring up behind me, but it's not affecting the cook at all. All right, so I'm going to check this in another 20 minutes. I'll baste it again because it just makes it mo better. As far as doneness, when I'm going to pull it, basically, USDA recommends 165, thickest part of the thigh. I'm going to 170. I always like to go just a little higher when I cook poultry. It's just a personal thing, but you do you. Like I said, 165, 170 for me. So yeah, see you in another 20 minutes. All right, here we are. About 20 minutes later, so. All right, so I probed the chicken, the Cornish game hens, just before I turned on the cameras, and we're getting close. I'm gonna give it another 15 minutes, and I think we'll be done at that point. So I will see you then. All right. These are looking good. Total cook time was about 1 hour, 45 minutes. These are probing out around 169, 170. I'm pulling them. What I'm going to do now is just let them rest, and then I'll bring one of them out to the cutting board, see how I did. And here we are, looking good. Cool thing about these Cornish game hens, and I remember this is something I really liked as a kid, is each person gets their own bird, which is cool. 3 of us, 3 birds. The portions are all set. All right. So first off, I'm going to admit, that little tail piece, I like that. I ate one of them in the house, and it's so good. The lemon is really coming out, but then the Burberry, it changes everything. It tastes a little bit more exotic. It doesn't taste like Ethiopian food, but it adds, all those extra seasonings that are not in that lemon pepper seasoning. Let's see how we did here. All right, leg first. Very, very, very tender. Some of that thigh. You can see, very juicy. Yeah, very, very juicy. Again, that lemon flavor is really just punching me. The skin, obviously, you know, on a rotisserie chicken, you're not going to get that crispy skin unless you finish it up by really cranking the heat up for a few turns, but there's something about that really just tender, almost like kind of melting in your mouth skin that I really, really like. Wing section, and it is very, very tender. The breast is where the metal meets, or the rubber meets the road. Juicy as all get out. One thing I love about rotisserie cooking is dripping. This is so good, so good. I get asked all the time, El Fuego Trio or El Patron? It's a really difficult question for me to answer because I love both of these cookers. I think they're both extremely versatile. And the rare thing is, in the versatility, they do pretty much everything well, very, very well. Yeah, I mean, I guess my answer would be, if a pellet grill is important to you, I would definitely lean towards the El Fuego Trio. If not, I mean, a lot of people wish the El Fuego Trio had a rotisserie. This has a rotisserie. You can't go wrong with either one. Honestly, I personally love both of these cookers a lot. I do love a rotisserie. I mean, rotisserie cooking is something I don't do a lot of, but every time I do, I really dig on, rotisserie food. Just, roast beef, turkey on a rotisserie is just hard to beat. Anyway, thank you for stopping by. If there's anything you want to see me do on either the El Patron or the El Fuego Trio, let me know below. This was a hit. Like I said, about an hour and 45 minutes total cook time, but I'm very, very happy with the way this turned out, as usual. And again, I am getting that nice smoky flavor, but it's not overly smoked. I mean, like Boston Market, eat your heart out type of a flavor. But wow. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. If you are new to the channel, or if you haven't hit subscribe, please consider hitting the sub button, ring the notification bell. Don't know if you like it, and I really hope you did. See you on the next video. Piece of breast. Cheers.